If you found yourself saying, scheduling everything has been great, but sometimes I'm still just exhausted, what should I do? Stay tuned to find out. No matter how much you want to get accomplished, sometimes it's just a no go. Margin is scheduling downtime in the midst of all the items on your to do list. The ultimate gift to self on your self care journey is to know that you have options and know that you have the option to schedule your downtime. The consequence of not scheduling your downtime is that you risk overextending yourself. At the height of me being in school, working full time, having a son who played baseball, and just having a full life, we were literally on the go from early morning to late at night, not getting any chance to rest or relax. As a result, we would be sick a lot. And as I look back, it seemed our bodies were rebelling from the on the go lifestyle and forcing us to get rest. Our bodies speak to us. Whether we listen or not is another conversation, but my eyes began to open to what was happening, and I had to cut back on the number of activities and tasks I was doing. And there were several, even besides the school and work activities. Scheduling downtime was a lifesaver for us because although we may not have been physically dead, we were drained and tired all of the time. So, in the midst of all the planning, today we'll be working margin or downtime into our schedules. Supplies for this video include the following: all of our calendar planning tools that we've laid out so far, from our blotter to our weekly planners, our daily agendas, and even our electronic calendars. And of course, our writing implements are highlighters in yellow, orange, and green, or yellow and blue, our pens in black and red, and our whiteout tape. Step 1, look at the overview of your monthly calendars, your weekly agendas, and your daily schedules. So after having a jam-packed May, the month of June for me is not as busy. You see, I don't have as many written items on the calendar as I did for May. I do have to add an appointment on the 20th of May. But besides that, it's a pretty laid back month, looks like. And I am going to use most of this time to continue on establishing myself, the Wise Women Ways page. So while I have kind of this time, I'm going to be working on that. But in the midst of that, of course, we still make sure that we look for ways to take care of yourself as well. And then looking at my weekly agenda, I had several days where I carved out pockets of work specifically on specific days. You'll see these little boxes that say work. So that's just an example of how I set out one week. And then here are examples of what I have on tap for Tuesday of that week and Thursday of that week on my daily schedules. Step 2, seek out pockets of time on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So here are my daily sheets. You see for Thursday of that week, I have it planned for my routines, my normal routines. I have filming in the morning, filming in the afternoon, and then my normal routines in the evening. Also at 1, that's my shutdown routine. For me, that's also lunchtime. So that's kind of a pocket of time where I'm carving out some time for margin. And then also in the morning with my morning routine, I go on a walk, I pray, I do my kind of morning startup routine, and that is margin for me as well. And then also at night, the closeout routine when I eat dinner and kind of just relax my mind, relax myself at the end of the day. That is carving out margin for me as well. Looking at my schedule from a weekly standpoint, on each day, I have a lunch break scheduled. I put it approximately at 2 o'clock. Now, when we get to the specific day, it may change, but that's just to key my mind to remind me to actually take a break about halfway through the workday. Also, as I mentioned before, with me working weekends now, I do take a Sabbath day during the week, an off day during the week for self-care. So for me, that is called Wednesday worship. I used to, when I worked a traditional 9 to 5 job, I used to take a Sabbath on a Saturday. But now that I'm working weekends, I Sabbath during the week. So that means I carve out or seek out a pocket of time during the week. So Wednesday, you see that big red X there, which means I just remind myself not to schedule anything for that day, anything significant work-wise. It is for relaxation to actually get one day off during the week. Looking at the overview of my month, while there's still hardly anything scheduled on my calendar, carving out those pockets of time is the priority. The pockets of time that can be used for margin or self-care or Sabbath. So for me, that has been Wednesday worship because I've been working on weekends. So Wednesday in the middle of the week has been the day that I take off and I put nothing on the schedule so that I can have at least one day of rest and relaxation and recuperation. Same thing with the electronic calendar. See, on Wednesday, it says Wednesday worship. And from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., it's a big, huge block that says time with God. So for me, that is my Sabbath. And I put it both on my paper calendars and my electronic calendar. Step 3, flesh out how you will recharge daily, sabbatical weekly, and vacation monthly, quarterly, or yearly. So a few sessions ago, we talked about the 5 daily routines that I recommend, which are the morning routine, work startup routine, work shutdown routine, work closeout routine, and then your nighttime routine. There is a day routine instruction sheet to help you establish your routine. The first exercise in that is to write down all the things that you do in the morning. So this is my list of things that I do. One of the things that I do to establish margin or downtime is I do my morning walks with the Lord. I do morning stretches. I do praise and worship in the morning, read the Bible app, do a Bible reading and daily devotional, drink water. So you see different things on there, gratitude app and journaling, different things on there that I do to build in margin into my day or downtime or things that help me to relax and renew my mind. And then going back to the weekly schedule, having a weekly sabbatical, which for me is that Wednesday worship day where I take one full day of rest. And I just want to show you guys a note that I made the day after I took a Wednesday worship day of rest. I made a note on that daily sheet at the bottom. I said, filming smoother today after rest on yesterday, after day of rest on yesterday. It is also summertime and looking at the month of June. Like I said, I don't have much scheduled, but I plan to use all this extra time to establish my business. But looking at the upcoming months, I would like to actually take a vacation, probably somewhere around August, and kind of get a good vacation in before the next fiscal year starts, before the next school year for my son starts, and kind of have a little bit of downtime before the pickup time of the next semester, next fiscal year kind of jumps off. Step 4, set aside money for these items and set up a separate account if necessary. My old pastor used to say, it takes money to buy land, which indeed it does. It takes money to do things. Even if you're having a scheduled off day, you may want to do something fun. It may not be that expensive, but just having the funds set aside already eases your mind and does not stress you more when you're actually trying to get some rest and relaxation in. So, one way to do that when you are actually going on vacation or scheduling around the holidays is to set up a club account, which is a savings account from way back. What is a club account? There are two main kinds. There is the vacation savings account. The balance describes it as a type of account where you deposit money you've earmarked for future vacation. And then also there's another type of account called a Christmas Club account. Investopia describes that one as also called a Holiday Club account, is a type of savings account in which people make routine deposits throughout the year. The accumulated savings are then withdrawn before the holiday season to provide funds for holiday shopping and other expenses like travel. One good way to do that is, first of all, look at your own bank to see if they have vacation savings accounts or Christmas savings accounts. And another way to do it is to look for online banks that offer vacation or Christmas club accounts as well. I did a seminar with the Budgetista, and she mentioned that inconvenient money gets saved, and she recommended separating your personal savings account from your checking account. Put them at two different institutions. Put the savings online to where it takes you at least 24 to 72 hours to access your savings so that it actually does get saved. This is the way to do that, by putting your savings online for like major vacations and holidays, but then also maybe using the savings account at your local bank for weekly sabbaticals or for daily, say you spoil yourself with a daily coffee or something of that nature. Every once in a while, you treat yourself. Maybe use the local savings account for the smaller items and then an online savings account for the bigger vacation or travel items or holiday items. Step 5, when the time comes, put all worries aside and revel in the recharge and downtime. So we talked about fleshing out what those days look like. For me, I am just led by the Spirit. Wherever I feel led to go on that day is where I go. I get up early and go to my destination so that I'm there already during the day, or however it works out, whatever time I'm planning to be there. But I always like to get there early, as I mentioned. So the last couple of Worship Wednesdays, I went to the art museum in the park. And then the one after that, I went to the history museum in the park. So it's just wherever I feel led to go. Mine generally have parks attached to them because they really relax me. But it doesn't have to be that. I've gone to malls and walked around. I've gone to like outdoor strip malls or indoor malls, or different tourist attractions. I've went to all different types of places. It's wherever I feel led to go. A new spot that I was curious about. Sometimes I'll eat. Sometimes I'll eat before I go. Sometimes I'll take a lunch. Sometimes I'll pick up a snack along the way. It just totally depends on how I feel led. Whatever I feel led to do is what I do. And I feel that recharges me the most, just being led by the Spirit, as opposed to trying to schedule it out minute by minute. As I'm just led by the Spirit, it's like God just shows up and shows out, really. And it just refreshes and renews me in a way that I never would have thought it would have, but it really does, just really being led by His Spirit. So when that time comes, put all your worries aside and revel in the recharge and downtime. So how do we schedule this margin time? Literally by changing or rearranging your schedule for downtime, family time, etc. This is not easy, especially when you're working hard to make money or make more money or to establish a new business, etc. But it's essential. Even a few hours or minutes of downtime can be beneficial. It makes so much of a difference when you actually take a rest day. You feel rejuvenated, you feel relaxed, you feel renewed. And so we want to carve out pockets of time during the day, during the week, and during the month quarter, or yearly.